inches to the IR. So the 46 here plus the 2 inches to the IR would give me the 48 that's recommended. When you are placing your marker, if you place it actually on the IR itself, consider that you're going to be collimating, and this particular IR has the line that shows you where the midpoint is from here to here. But if it doesn't, just put your fingers the edge and the midpoint and then cut that in half, and that's where you want your marker placement to be. I prefer it on the lower edge, but the upper would probably be okay too. All right, now I already have my SID set, have my marker in place. I'm gonna have you lie down on your back with your head up here at the pillow. Okay, knees are already bent like a good patient, and if he didn't do that automatically, I could tell him that he could bend his knees and hips for comfort. I could add some support if the patient required. For a male patient, we can still shield the gonads, and so I'm just going to place it right there. I've already set my SID, but I have not set to detent the tube. Now with this equipment, we're kind of limited as to the range of the Bucky. So I want to make sure, you can see the light field here, that I have the tube and the Bucky in alignment here. Once I have the tube and the Bucky in alignment, I can now move the patient by moving the table. So the table is going to move. I'm going to feel for the tops of your hips, and I feel with both hands so that I know that we're centered here. I'm also going to feel the ASIS, and that's my collimated field guide. Okay, so I want to collimate out to the ASIS. At the top of the crest here, I leave one hand in place when I do the measurement. If I'm doing lumbosacral, I can leave it at the level of the crest. If I'm doing lumbar only, I move up to 1.5 inches above the top of the crest. Okay, so lumbar sacral seems to be pretty common. They collimate out to the 17-inch field of view. Just going to be right in there somewhere. I'm going to adjust my shielding out just a hair. Make sure, nope, patient's not in alignment there. I'm gonna have you scoot your hips over just a bit. So from the head of the table, the patient is in alignment. I'm gonna have you blow all of your air out and hold it out. Breathe and relax. Okay, I get a new IR. Now, we're going to do the RPO next. We didn't go over the order of exams before. From the AP, we moved to the RPO. So what I'm going to have you do is straighten your right leg and reach with your arm across to your right shoulder. Don't scoot, but just roll up on your side away from me just a little bit. If we have a 45-degree sponge to support, that's when we would use it, but we want the shoulders and the hips to both move together. Now, for the obliques, we do want to be centered 1.5 inches above the crest. We also want to be 2 inches anterior to the elevated side, not the ASIS. Okay, so I need this elbow up. Now, from the top of the patient, you should be able to look down and see that the spine should follow about the line that we want to be in. All right, so here's ASIS, 2 inches anterior, 1.5 inches above the top of the crest. So blow all your air out, hold it out, breathe and relax. Now come down towards me, back to your back. We're going to do the same thing the other way. So go ahead and Straighten this leg out, bend the right knee, reach with that arm over and roll up towards me now. We want, again, about a 45-degree angle. Table's gonna move again. Here's ASIS, so we want to be 2 inches anterior to the elevated ASIS and 1.5 inches above the top of the crest. I forgot to add my shielding on the last one, my apologies. Bring the elbow up out of the way. Good. You want to maintain that. Excuse me. Blow all your air out and hold it out. Breathe and relax. Now for this one, roll up on your side completely facing me. There you go. Go ahead and bend your knees and hips. And bring your arms up kind of like a prayer position or a good sleeping position there. Okay? True lateral. So this means that I either need to bring his shoulders back or his hips forward. So I'm going to move your shoulders just a little bit. I physically move the patient because it's easier and I know exactly where I want them to go. On a slippery table, it's not that hard to accomplish. All right, we want to be in the mid-coronal plane with a new IR. At the level of the crest for the lumbosacral, or 1.5 inches above if it's going to be just lumbar. Okay, I'm going to make sure that he's truly up and down. And again, I'm going to bring your shoulders back just a hair so that we're truly in alignment. Let me get back here. With the patient on the table, you can put some lead behind the patient to absorb excess scatter, but don't put it up under or in the light field, just behind the patient to absorb scatter. Now for our technique, from whatever you start as an AP, you're going to need to increase incrementally. From AP, go up a couple of kVp steps, so probably 3 or 4 kV from AP to obliques. Keep those the same. And then up another 3 or 4 kVp from the obliques to the lateral. Okay, blow all your air out, hold it out, breathe and relax. Stay in the same position now. What I'm going to do is collimate down the new IR. Since he's a male patient, I'm going to angle 5 degrees caudally. The book tells us to go 2 inches posterior. Table's going to move. And 1.5 inches down from the top of the crest. So right about there. My marker placement is on the anterior, inferior corner. I do need to make sure that my bucky is in alignment, because once you angle the tube, you have to realign your bucky. That's going to be probably the #1 mistake for cause of repeat here. Again, I'm going to go up that little bit in kVp because we're now penetrating through both wings of the pelvis as well as the density of the spine. We're in alignment. Blow all your air out, hold it out, and breathe and relax. Move the tube out of the way. All right, you can go ahead and sit up. Sit for a second to make sure you're not dizzy before you stand up.